Good evening, it's Rob, Signway Specialties. Hey, it's been a while. Today, we're not going to go over the thermoforming thing like we thought we were, because, well, it takes a little bit of time to put that thing together, apparently. We are going to go over some stuff that I bought, though, based on, it's more of a scientific philanthropy. It's not really a necessity, I would say. But one of the things I decided to get were some temperature probes. Some of you are probably thinking, well, why get 3 of them? What is the point? Well, ladies and gents, it's like I always said, this is a scientific channel. I want to be able to, kind of, as I progress, move through the ropes. I want to be able to demo this kind of stuff. See that right there? That's how much. This is a constant. But this, and this is all the stuff I want to test. This right here, this is temperature. This is volume. This is pressure. This is what they call the ideal gas constant. Now if you get on websites like, say, Engineering Toolbox, or whatever you Google, they can give you like permittivity sheets, they can give you gas constant sheets. I mean, if you go into like a thermodynamics class, the entropy, the enthalpy, the heat, the work, the temperature, the specific volume, the specific heat. I mean, for God's sake, man, this shit's everywhere. I mean, all of this is just based on, it's stuff. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get into this. So what I decided to do was I wanted to get the stuff for pressure, which is a transducer. It's all going to be for this meter. Stuff for the volume, which would be a container with a known inside dimension. And then temperature. Well, that's where these come in. Right there. So what I did was I got the snap-on K-type connectors with the instinct handles. The model numbers on these for the liquid immersion is EETH501D, and then for the surface contact one is the EETH502D, and then the air probe EETH503D. So 501, 502, 503. These were 52, what were they? 5270 something when I got them from, on the website it's got like 55.99 or something. So, turn on my vaping ashtray here. There we go. Old computer fan to get rid of the soot. So we're going to take these out. We're going to see if I got my $55 worth. Now the ones that Fluke gives you are significantly higher range, but it's Fluke. These are stainless. They got the instinct style handle, but I mean it's got a little play in there. It's almost like the clamshell up here is kind of loose. Like it wasn't a tight fit. Like I feel like if I crack this thing open, I'm gonna find just kind of a little pressure seated washer in there. Nothing fancy, but I mean they don't give you a whole lot of length. I mean, if you're wondering how long this is, I mean it's a forearm length. They say it's 4 feet, but I mean who the hell is gonna take this thing and rip on it while it's connected to your meter? Back out a little bit here, a little too close. So there's that one. These go from negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 750 degrees Fahrenheit. For you over the ponders, negative 40 to 400 C. So it doesn't care about the low end, does care about the high end though. Either that or that's a misprint. Let's see if the box says anything different. No, it's negative 40 to 750 Fahrenheit and 400 Celsius. It's negative 40 either way. Not very scientific. Why don't they just give it to me in Kelvin now, not to guess. Alright, so there's that one. This is what it all looks like. They're not too bad. It's just kind of a dull handle. It's not the screwdriver handle. You're not getting the rubber overmold with the nice. I mean, it's light. You know, you can tell there's nothing in this thing. K-type connector though. It always says, you know, oh yeah, you get the K-type connector for your meter. That doesn't mean it's got the big probe ends. So I mean, when you put it into the meter, this is the Fluke 289 process meter. I mean, yeah. It's not the same. It's not the same. Ugh. Okay. That's okay. We'll get to that in a second though. So I feel like these are like sterets, like I'm required to keep the box or something. So there's the liquid one. Ooh. Let's get into the 502 delta, the surface. I'm sorry, this is the liquid. Wait a minute. Oh wow. Weird. So on one side, this one says liquid immersion. Wow, so look at that. Bad engineering there. So we obviously know, okay, so take a look at this. Okay, so we got this one right here, right? It says liquid immersion probe. Roll it over one. Liquid immersion probe right there. Look at this other one. Surface probe, right? Surface. Then we roll it over. What does that say? Surface, right? If I roll it one more time, liquid. What the fuck? Alrighty. Oh wait, they all say it. Okay, this one says air, air, air. So this one's good. The liquid one says liquid. God, that's focus. Okay, there we go. Liquid, liquid, liquid. So this one's good. But the surface probe, on the other hand, right, surface, surface, liquid. Huh. Weird. Whatever. Okay, back to the scenery here. Alright, now we got the surface one here. These are all the same rating, so essentially they brazed and or soldered the little doodad at the end of it with the same material. Otherwise it would, you know, they'd have different ratings. The Fluke ones are Inconel rods. They're 18 inches long. These are 8. And they go up to 1050 Celsius, I want to say. But I mean, those are $120. These are $52. I pay for all 3 of these a little bit more than what one would cost. There's the end of the surface one, the ceramic bolster around it. I mean, it's once again, it's just right in there. You can feel it, but I mean, I'm kind of pushing it. I don't think it's going to come out though. Same deal, K-type, springy cord. Cord feels plasticky, not so much like a silicone or a high quality. It feels like a Superflex like air hose. That's what it feels like. I don't know what material that is, but that's what it feels like. But there's the surface one. Surface one's actually built pretty nice. I like the way this one's made. So there's the surface one. Ow! Now we got the airtight. Airtight looks pretty cool. This is the EETH 503D. Same coily hose. Where? Alright, so there's that one. Same handle. So essentially all of these things are the same, except it's just the tip. Just the tip. So you gotta pay the check. That's what that's got in there. Same temp rating, -40 both to 750 Fahrenheit or 400 C. This one, yeah, like I said before, all of them kind of got a weird little wobble to them. Not really sure why. There's the air one. So another thing too with these K-type connectors, this was my plan. I just got back from the local RC shop because I don't care what anybody tells you, RC car power wire is literally the best shit that I've ever owned for wiring. These are what I went out and got. I got one pack for this. And then what that is this thing here, because I don't want to buy that cheapo plastic adapter thing for these K-types. So what I'm going to do is I got that one I just showed you. Nice, thick Venom 14 gauge, 200C wire. God, it's like shoelace, but the shit lasts for years. And what it's got, just got little banana plugs at the end. Plastic jacketed. What I'm going to do with those, I'm going to plug those in here like that, and that's how I'm going to use these probes. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to make this a universal, because what else I bought was two packs of these, and these are the female ones, that blue plug on that cable you just saw. So what I'll do is take these things. This works for all tools, you know. This isn't like a tachometer on an old analog drive vehicle. You know, you can mix and match wire gauges. It's not going to hurt it. Now, if you look really closely at this, now when you put these things in, remember I just showed you the package number, so don't forget this if you do decide to go out and buy something with a K style, which there's a lot of these. This yellow connector is pretty universal. But what you'll do is if you look down in there, you'll see it almost perfectly aligns in the center. So what you do is you take these things, these little gold pieces here, you put them on here and you solder the shit out of them with a nice clean flux solder. Alcohol wipe it first, solder it, alcohol wipe it again, clean it up, and shrink tube it. Well, you actually don't shrink tube it because you got the shield anyway that's going to go over them. Now what you're going to do is when those things are soldered on here, you're going to set these in. Okay? And that is how you're going to get these things to work on this connector here. So this connector will stay with these three probes. I'm going to build eventually a nice wooden case that's going to have all three of these, the pressure transducer, the multimeter, the thermal imager that I got from Snap-on, the big giant screen one that's like $1,500. Works pretty good actually. I'll have to pull that out one of these days. Well, we'll do it when we get all of these things put together. Because I want to build a silhouette that has all three of these, this, the thermal imager, everything has to do with temperature or multimeter readouts or attachments for this thing. We're going to do on the thermoformer, and we're going to make a silhouette and then a wooden box. And then right after that, once we're up and running, we're going to do the same thing for the Starrett tap wrenches that are the 91 Delta Charlie Bravo. I haven't bought the Alpha, but I really don't see a point in having an Alpha. I'm not going out and like rethreading 14 or 440 screws or anything like that. It's way out of my jurisdiction for sizes. I mean, the smallest I usually go on a light duty case is maybe 832. So there's absolutely no point in me having something that's like the size of a screw in a pair of sunglasses. It's just not my repertoire. So those three. But in place of that, the 5-inch Starrett automatic punch will be taking its place in that little gap. So everything has a nice little pyramid down. All of these probes, all this equipment, everything's gonna be in a nice little spot. Usability, let's see. So for right now, since I haven't soldered any of that stuff together, we'll do this. Alright, turn this thing on. Bring it over here so you can actually, oh, yeah. Oh, like $40 strap they sell you online? Yeah, don't buy it. Look, Night Eyes number 4 S Beaner. 75 pound rated. This thing was $6. This little strap right here, yeah, it's just Velcro. You take a little sewing kit, you just sew some thread in there and it stitches it back here so it doesn't come off. Had it on it for a long time. Whole thing, $12. You get 3 of these straps in a pack, by the way. So when you do it, you actually got a whole bunch of spares. And you're paying like minimal for everything. Alright, so we're going to do Fahrenheit, just because it's the most intuitive. I'm going to set this right here. I'm going to attempt to get the SPY on target with this thing. I mean, this I think the tripod and the camera are the same price, like $10. That's okay though, because nobody gives a shit about the tripod and the camera. They only give a shit about the quality of the video. If it's boring, it's just, well, now it's just high definition boring. Alright, so got this thing hooked in. We're going to see how cheap I am. Here's the air probe. And that's what we're getting. I know, it's because I'm single and because it makes the electric bill cheaper. I'm going to breathe on it. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it in the front of that little fan on the side here. $60. Yeah, works pretty good right there. All right, let's try out the Surface one. This is the only one I haven't tried. I've had these out of the box already, but never actually got to play with them. There's too many people around. I don't want nobody to see me doing it. There's our Surface one. Remember, this is the one that you gotta actually like put it to something. So you got that and pow. Eh, how am I doing anything? If I put it to the coffee mug. Oh, there she goes. Yeah, nah, she's getting wily. Back to the desk. The desk is practically ice cold. Cool. So that one, not bad. All right. That one works. Now let's do the probe that you put in liquids and shit. Now this one, I want to see something specifically on it, because this one you can't see the element inside it. So this one, okay, so yeah, so the element's all the way at the point. Sometimes they're not at the point on shittier probes, and I'm not saying these are the best probes, so I had to check. Right now there's nothing touching it. I'm going to touch at the base. Doesn't really affect it. Pinching toward the middle with 3 fingers. We're going to move all the way to the tip. Squeeze. Okay, so that's good, because if you want to get 6-7 inches in there, then you're going to want to know. That's the coffee, by the way, because, you know, yeah. That's not bad. I kind of like it. The cool thing is with this 289 too is, if we go to save, record every second for however long. Huh, battery's never been low on this thing since I got it. Now it's at 3 bars out of 5, and it says battery partly empty. Why couldn't it be partly full? But whatever. Okay, so it says start. We're at 75 right there. I'm gonna go boop. We're recording. We're gonna get the ramp up of the coffee. Alright, cool. Now let's try something a little bit more temperature sensitive. We're going to try body temp. Okay, so it's a little off at the tip. About 90. Huh. Okay, so we're gonna hit stop. Get these things out of the way, because after this video I'm gonna redo it. We're gonna say show the trend. Boop. Check it out. Cool, huh? Yeah. Another cool thing we're going to do is we're going to boil ice with that probe that I was just using, and we're going to show the graph for phase transition, latent heat, phase transition, and latent heat from solid to liquid, or solid to solid liquid mix to liquid vapor mix. And we're going to show that little graph that goes in there, because what that graph does is it goes up in there and it goes from here and it goes and it shoots up into this area, but we can't measure that over there. Like this area is like sun power. Yeah, that's the snap-on probes, the EETH 501, 502, 503D. Not too shabby. We're gonna use them a lot in these videos, so what you're seeing now is, yeah, we're gonna have quite a lot of use out of these things. We won't go into anything super high temperature, but we are gonna use these quite a bit because it's fun, it's knowledgeable. The shit in the book is always wrong, or it's always right, but nobody can ever justify it because they don't know how to do it themselves. So when they get to a job, they know all this stuff, but they can't do anything useful. Well, you got a 4.0, huh? That's cool. Can you fix this engine? No? Okay. Well, maybe you should have went to trade school instead of book school. Yeah, I thought about that too, but I already have my calling in life, so I'm gonna stick to book school and I'll make something of it. Yeah, folks, that's it. There's your 3 probes, the meter, and we just got to get the leads soldered onto here, you know, get something. Local hobby shop. It's just, I'll show you those things one more time. So there's that one. That's the connectors going on the probes. That comes with the little brass or copper and brass pieces and the connectors. And then this one is the little cable connector. Comes with both banana plugs soldered onto 2 wires onto that same plug. And that's it. That EC3 there, that's the style of the plug. So if you want the blue but you don't want banana clips, you need to get EC3 with something else hooked to it. Banana clips is not in that, not in there. EC3 is this thing. It's not this thing. Okay. I would get the Dean's plugs, but they're too close, and when you get goop in there, obviously this thing is a volt ohm meter on its best day, and everything else on every other day. When you switch the little knob over, it's all just math from what it's reading off the off the line. It's not like there's a different system in here checking this. It's just different math. This is a voltmeter. This is different types of math for those volts. So this is not going to affect it. Now, if you go out and you get something like very bad solder or something junky cold solder, then yeah, you know, all your probes might be wrong. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got on that. Little background on what we talked about earlier with the PVNRT, which is the ideal gas constant. What I'm attempting to do here is I want to set up some things. I want to see how much temperature rise it, or how accurate this is when it comes to temperature rising. And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, they've been using this for like 300 fucking years. Of course it's going to be accurate, you dipshit. Why do you think it exists and they told you about it? You didn't make it up. That's because it's better to see it. And for you naysayers, haters, and cynics out there, I'm going to do this to piss you off and to make me happy, because that's essentially what it's going to do. But that's okay, because I don't have to see you. So some people, they might find this to be fun. You know, this sometimes shit just doesn't. The other day I built a parallel plate capacitor just to see if I was doing the calculations right with the permittivity chart, because we learn it with the 8.8 times 10 to the times 10 to the negative 12th, and I was getting all these weird numbers, but it's because I wasn't doing the conversions right. So what I do is I got myself the answer by, you know, taking the meter and measuring the capacitance on. I was getting microfarads, but I was getting like centifarads instead, which is way higher than what my math was telling me it was going to get. So, or I was getting way lower at the capacitor than I was on the math, which innately helped me today because we had our physics exam today and it had a whole bunch of stuff about parallel plate capacitors. So yeah, this you can either learn it like this, spend the 50, 100, 150, and then $700, and I get to keep all this shit. So $775. All this stuff right here, I get to test all that stuff with. Now let's say I don't understand it. I mess up chapters 1 and 2, 5, and like 3 other chapters. I don't pass the class. It's $1,300 a class to not live on campus. That's just to take the class. This was not $1,300, and I get to use this forever. So when I get a little cylinder and I stand on that thing, it's got water inside, I better see the temperature go up. And then, you know, I get to it creates a muscle memory. You know, your brain creates these little tiny fibers after you do something so many times. Like, you just memorize it. It's natural. Like when you go to fall, there's a fiber in there that tells you foot forward. If you're going to fall backwards, lean forward, arms out, kick out, reflex. You need to do this on a certain level that makes you want to reflex. That's what I do with everything I'm showing you guys. The lathe from the first video went to metal machine shop class. The meter, work is electronics. These temperature probes, this gas constant, or I should say, this is the ideal gas equation. This is the gas constant. But this right here was in Physics 1, Chemistry, Chemistry 2, Organic Chemistry, and Physics 2. Goes without saying, I'm going to buy temp probes. Transducer I may not get right away because it's $450. It's expensive. It's a fitting. It's a pipe thread fitting, so they're not cheap. It's like buying an amp clamp for your multimeter when you should have just bought the amp clamp, because it's cheaper than the attachment for your DMM. So, but yeah. Other than that, that's all I got. Those are 3 probes. Remember, K-type is what they're going to call this, but it's not. So, you're going to want to get these connectors. It's going to be useful. If you ain't got nothing for me, I don't have nothing for you. And we will see you later. Thanks for coming out.